back for the final stretch, I'd say, if we aren't going to be running far in the big, because the big is going to be the tournament that ends the latest. And what Chinese? We have played against both the Moshman and Mrs. Moshman on the other tables.
Like last time.
Yeah, they are probably playing at about the same time. If we are getting it unopened for us, we are going to be shoving this Queen 8 offsuit and hopefully trying to build our stack more. But so even though we are having a nice stack and there's just 242 remaining, there's just a lot that can happen. Even when you are having an edge, there's a lot that can happen in a turbo tournament. And usually the lot includes a lot of bad scenarios for you.
Unfortunately.
But for chance, and again, there's also one more point that even though I'm getting more credibility for my steals, there's also one additional point that for example, when I'm looking at players, I'm marking them easier as a reg if they are supernovas themselves and they are showing the stars, because there is a greater possibility that if someone is showing supernova stars, they are going to be at least a reg on the game or a player that I don't like having in my tables than if they don't have anything. So that's why I'm keeping my stars open, but I didn't do much research about the stars before, because I think that the supernova stars, they are plus EV to show, but if you are looking at something like a bronze star, that's probably minus EV to show it. And there are also other stars that I think Platinum Star could be the first one that it could be worth it to show, but all the other stars pretty much, at least for me, they are showing that you are going to be a worse player. Because there are so short stacks, I don't think that we can shove this, or we can min raise this, and we can shove it because the Elo Rebuffs is having a larger stack.
Actually, it was quite nice to play a big MTT game for a change. Even though there were some spots where I was a little bit clueless, but it was interesting. There is at least one hand that I marked that I want your opinion of.
You can use our hand analysis forum for it.
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant idea. I could certainly do that. I think I played pretty solidly. But anyway, I'm a sit and go player, not an MTT player, so there might be some spots I missed. But I didn't have an easy table. There were lots of really good players and solid players. So.
I think it's better if you are playing games that are running quite close to each other. Like I'm playing, all of these games are MTTs, and I were having a little problems with some of the players because I was playing 3x turbos that were having horrible players at the start, and then I was playing Supernova Free Roll and big $109 game. So the quality of players was completely different on my tables, and I think I did lose some spots because of it. We are having a blocker to aces, and he's really aggressive as a stealer, so we are re-stealing against him. On the 110 3x turbo, I'm thinking that most of the other players, they are thinking that this is way bigger money for them than it is for me, so I'm trying to put as much pressure on the opponents as I could. And I think that's probably going to be quite optimal. Fold flop to bet isn't the same as fold to c-bet because it includes all the flop bets. Because players are usually having pretty similar tendencies against donk bets than they are having against c-bets. So I'm just getting a larger sample size when I'm including other bets to the statistic.
So, any sit and go live session?
We are having weekly ones at the Finnish side, but on the English side, if there are enough interested people, like even last time this broadcast got like popular after 2 hours, and usually the SNG sessions stop after 2 hours anyway, so
It's a bit complicated in that sense. We have had, like, for example, 50-50s sit and go session between two of us, and it got quite popular. If you don't mind listening in Finnish language, you can find that on our YouTube channel. At least you can see the cards and you can see what's going on there.
I don't think it's going to be that useful if you can just see what happens, because I think some part of it will be always the explanations.
Yeah, definitely. And since there are quite a lot of players that think that, for example, 50-50s are the same than double or nothing games, and it's not the truth. So if you don't know the differences, you'll lose a lot of money, and that got explained quite well there, I think.
But we can do sit and go sessions, and actually you can give us some feedback on the feedback side, and if there are enough requests for a certain type of session, we will be quite likely to do it. And even now we are playing some of these games will be sit and goes here, but these have been sit and goes just for us to get a good session, and then we actually he limped. I'm going to shove over. I don't believe that it's always a trap, and now there is a lot of I think there's a lot of money on the pot already. But I must say that it gets exciting every time something happens on that table.
Yeah, I know the feeling. When I was playing my free roll, it was a free roll, but still I got way more excited about those situations than I got on my hyper sit and goes that I was playing. I didn't play as many as I usually would because I wanted to make sure I wouldn't misclick on that main table at that point, because I have done that some time ago and it was awful, so to say. So I wanted to make sure I make the right calls and right moves there. But those games were nothing compared to that big game, and even though I didn't get even into money.
I think it's going to be, actually now we are changing this table because we are having a $15 180 man, and we are 5th out of 28 and we are in the bubble, so we should be abusing the bubble a lot. And abusing the bubble means that we should be opening a lot, and this hand we didn't open because there is the big blind is going to always call. I think we are trying to make it as easy to follow as possible. That's why we are going to. That's why we are going to have only 4 tables going on there. But if you prefer that we are going to have a stack going on and then the other tables, we can do it.
Or maybe chance meant that when I was making my explanation about my games. Not sure, but yeah, I did exactly that. That I had my main game on one spot and then I didn't move it, and all the others were on a different stack. And it definitely helps.
And this is also horrible. It's still like 15 minutes for the 12 minutes for the rebuy break to start, and it's going to be even more and more horrible as time goes by, because pretty much every hand results in an all-in situation.
Yeah, he was talking to me. It's good to have some attention from myself as well. Yeah, I'm definitely way over-medicated at this point.
Usually for a Finn that means drunk, but I know that you aren't.
No, I'm not. I did have one dynamite, so maybe
Caffeine.
some medication, fever. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my clothes soon. I'm just waiting for your sign that you tell me to get the hell out of this room. You cannot stand me anymore.
I think this is getting more entertaining by the minute, so. And now in the 180 man it's going to be slightly more exciting in the way that it's going to. People are more inclined to getting it all in when everyone is in the money, even though it doesn't make as much sense because the first money position isn't that much. If I'm looking at the lobby, the first money position is 16-11, so it's just getting your buy-in back basically. And still people are excited that, whoa, I need to just get my money back and then I can start shoving everything.
Exactly what happened. But you still got some tables.
With 7.5 big blinds, ace 10 off is going to be the worst ace that I'm going to push. I would push pretty much every suited ace, but only ace 10 off or something. And I would also push every pocket pair there easily. I'm trying to look like how many tables do I have remaining, so this is going to be my. We got a table that was close to a bubble, but then we bubbled it, so. And now we are having a nice situation to discuss about. We are having a pot of 1.7 million and 700,000 to call, so if we would have been calling this pretty much with any 2 cards, and with 10-9 suited we like to call it because it's going to be really good for us. And now we were dominated, but usually with a hand like 10-9 suited we are not dominated, even still we got 30%, and it's way enough when we are only requiring something like 28%. And we are going to shove against the phone user.
Oh, wow. Surprising. Shit.
And he had the 6.
Screw him.
Yeah.
Why the bad players always win?
It was like $58 from the 3 times rebuy. And out for a chip lead pot, where we had 70%.
Screw us.
We already did get screwed, so...
Yeah. It was a terrible call.
But well, now the Romanian phone user is the chip lead on that tournament, and we wish him all of luck because he's going to need it.
Then it's gonna take like 2 minutes
and actually we get screwed here as well. 8 rebuys.
I'm starting to hate my life, even though it's not even my games.
It was funny when we were rating some of the Poker Mania players and you were tilting on how the players were playing on the table. Even though you weren't even remotely involved, the Poker Mania wasn't involved in most of the hands.
But they were so poor! They didn't know a shit and then they just got loads of money. It wasn't fair. Where's that?
And 12 rebuys.
Kauris, I have already once told you to shut up during this evening. You are evil.
And Kauris is evil.
You know I have quite a lot of power on the forum. You behave now.
Oh, behave.
Yeah.
Ah, Chance was from Romania, and now the chip leader is also from Romania, so...
Oh, yes, please, please.
No, we don't need Romanian swear words anymore. We already lost the table. And I don't need to get chat banned on Poker Stars, I think. I don't have chat tilt problems, so... Yet.
You could have.
And now we are lucky. And we are getting a bigger stack.
Yeah, bigger.
We are almost having 2 big blinds, effectively, so... Don't be hating on my big stack.
I'm hating the game. I told you you shouldn't play those. But no, you don't listen. I just listen to Kauris.
And we are having an ace-8, and I think we are getting it in. I hoped we would be getting it in good.
That would be the first time. No. And where is that ace on the river when you really need it?
I think the limit is around 15 when PokerStar starts to think that, do you really want to do this? Like Windows does when you are doing something stupid. Do you really want to do this?
But after all this bad luck, you must win some of these. Maybe at Big 11.
Yeah, it would be awesome. But the MTTs, it's always so easy to, because you are only remembering the hands that you are unlucky in. It's going to be really easy to feel like you are the unluckiest player ever when you are playing the MTTs. Even though you are probably just a regular guy with a regular luck. And even now,
Nobody thinks so.
yeah, everybody thinks that they are unlucky.
Because everybody is.
Everybody can't be. And aces against 7th queen and aces lose. Stupid player, thinking about that aces would win something. He has a king.
So every time you have a half good looking hand, you are gonna go all in.
There are so much in the antes already.
And you have a king. You could have hit the king.
Yeah, when we got the tens in, but even the tens they lose. It's actually pretty. It's pretty nice, I think. It would be pretty nice to learn something there, because you can see like how often that people are getting it in with the best hand, like the tens here, but they are still going to lose a lot when the all-ins are like 5-handed. Like he's going to win it once out of 3 tries. And we are getting it in with like any decent hand, and we are trying to get a bigger stack. And that's going to be expensive, but when we are getting the bigger stack, it's going to be worth it.
You are saying when, and I'm thinking if. So there's almost a money bubble.
And now the add-on break will be within 1 minute. And also, well, this guy isn't going to be busting.
No. But you're gonna go anyway all in the next hand.
Pretty much, yeah. So, Chance, what are the worst swear words in Romanian? If we are like, learn Romanian in an English coaching. All the useful words you need to get by. I think it's going to be the same learning pretty much any language, that if you are talking with the locals, the first words you are going to learn are going to be swear words or naughty words. When he limps, I'm going to think he's going to be full of it most of the time, and I think I'm going to be able to play some good position plays on him anyway, and I'm having a hand that it's going to play pretty well.
I got twice nut flush on that supernova free roll, and that's how I got quite a big stack, even though I didn't get all the chips I could have, but it was a start.
But so now we are getting the add-on. We are getting 52k stack, and we are still pretty likely to get it all in.
Because
even
the
after
next
the
hand
add-on.
you are gonna be on the big blind.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be higher probably.
At 12k. If you are looking at this, it's going to be quite insane with the blind levels, and you are seeing that the smallest stacks are the table where it's the highest, it's 16k for the smallest stack.
So it's not even a 2 big blinds.
It's going to be, because I'm going to get the 30k add-on.
Do you think there is gonna be one nutcase who is not gonna take the add-on?
Last time there was 40.
there is currently 251 players.
And I'm presuming less than 220 are going to take the add-on.
222 so far has taken add-on. So now you are backing down, mister. And when we give you an opportunity, you don't use that.
And we are in the money on the 350. But even in here the problem is that the smallest money finish, it's just 1080 and we are using 3 rebuys and 1 add-on, so we are not even getting our own money back when we are getting the min cash.
Not good. So what's the first place? 500.
Yeah, it's usually quite a good one. It's going to be interesting because we are almost out of tables and I'm thinking about what shall we do and what are the games that we are going to get away from quickly.
Hyper sitting goes.
Perhaps we are having some kind of hyper sit and go special for the evening.
Well, Chance wanted to see the sit and goes. So in that sense, maybe. So everything's around those words.
Ouch, this isn't going to be nice. I'm pretty afraid that we are beat there, or we are flipping at the very best. We are beat there and we are drawing to 2 outs and now to 0 outs. It's still quite nice that we have been running good at the early games, and then when we are at where it really matters money-wise, we have been running like, I'd say just not that awesome.
There are some words you can combine. Oh dear. Three more tables. And all it takes to make it all good is 1 win. But there's still almost 500 players on that big $11.
Actually, we are up 6 buy-ins.
That's sick.
But down $400.
Why it's always that way around, that you win many buy-ins but still you are losing money? You should be luckier in the bigger games. Try harder.
I think my chip stats are going to be pretty awesome in a way that yeah.
Oh, come on. I think we shouldn't even show those numbers to the watchers because they would get just as depressed as I'm at the moment.
Actually, with 2.5 big blinds, we are going to need to get it in and hope that he's folding tablet player, so
high hopes.
Yeah. 3,000
Oh.
3,300 hands, all in adjusted winnings 7.5 million chips and chips won minus 3,000. 7.5 million chips under.
Nasty. And that's all during one night.
And small blind gets ace 10 there. We are having quite an interesting day when you can see our... This is just chip EV and you can see when we have started the 3x turbos because the chip stacks get quite wild in those. If we are still getting only the big 11 left, we are going to do some 9 max hyper sit and goes. Because this might take long time. I'm playing 4.5 hours of it already.
Oh dear. But that's so frustrating that even though you beat next 100 players, you get just like $5 more.
Yeah, but if I beat them all, then I'm going to... Or if I'm getting even second, then I'm going to get a more awesome trophy than Kauris.
Because that's the thing that counts.
Beating Kauris. Yeah, he jinxed me so much, so... Like, that's the most important thing.
Aha! Can you open the lobby and show the monies that Kauris is gonna be envy about? Envy of. Oh, 16k.
But not even 4k to all of the final table.
That's cruel.
He has been stealing so much. I think it's going to be plus EV and he's going to be calling a lot and he's going to be folding a lot of his range that he's going to call us with. Chance, I think that's going to be enough that we are knowing those two words.
At least if somebody's saying those words for us, we know that it cannot be anything good.
But so the big 11, we are getting 1.5 times the min cash, even though we are beating like... We are only one of 4 that are getting through the bubble, so the money is increasing really slowly.
Frustrating. Very frustrating. Maybe that's why I'm not a good MTT player. Because it takes forever, even before you get any good cash. And then there are just so many things that must go right. And they rarely do. Or am I just being too pessimistic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we are trying to get some of this sit and goes running.
That's a good starting place.
Yeah, it's $60 sit and go with most of the players unknown. It's better than this one, but even this one is good.
So if somebody's beating Kauris's record, you're gonna play Sunday Storm.
I have been 70 something in the Sunday Storm. So I have been even there and I've won something like $200. It was frustrating as ever. This is a good table when there are 4, but this is like a better table in a way that the players are, because I think in here we are not going to get walks very often.
What's your plan with the snowman?
Run good. Hope for the best.
Why didn't you bet?
Because it's just one card straight away, so I don't think that I'm going to get value pretty much from anything. Only a lower set would probably pay me value there.
And on the flop you didn't want to raise the pot because there would be overcards paying.
We are going to do something spooky here. I think that we are going to get more folds if we are taking it to the flop. Even though it doesn't feel that good to see that how it's going. The iPad guide that's showing 3 stars, I think it's as well that it's going to be quite likely that he's not one of the better players.
So Eulost Pro has been on top 65 in Sunday Storm once. That's a good one. And then you lose with aces. Usual.
I lost with aces as well against ace 8. And now the guy that won it, he got to the final table and he's now playing the same hypers as I am. I remember it, but he probably doesn't.
Probably not. You never remember those who helped you to climb on the stairs of victory. You just think you played awesomely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. On these hypers we are going to have a really aggressive plan going forward. Actually interesting. Interesting when he's opening UTG and he's having quite solid statistics so far, but I haven't played that much against him, so I'm going to take the more cautious line here. If he's going to bet twice, then I'm probably going to fold if he's using the same half pot sizing. And now I know that this Bert again is using the hotkeys, the quick keys here. And when he's using the quick keys, I know that I don't need to be shoving against him like ever, because I can get what I need done, because he's playing his cards and he's not playing the situation. So I can always know that what kind of cards he has by just min raising. And that's one way that you are leaking information, and you shouldn't be doing it. You should never be using these buttons. And we are getting screwed here. If he's betting, I don't think that there's anything else we can do except fold. Half a pot should win it for us often enough to be profitable. And when it doesn't, we are going to play cautious, even though when it opens another flush draw, it's going to be even worse for us. Actually, we are not going to play many hypers after this. And he's having a jack there. Well, good call. And now there is enough money on the pot there that it's easy going all in. I want to see this previous hand on. He limps and calls with
min raise.
Oh.
Min raise call with king 9 suited. Not a good move.
Yeah, from UTG +1. I'm scanning for the players that I like to play against. I'm always doing the scanning while I'm playing. It's actually even better when I'm not having so many tables than I usually do.
Now you have perfect good time for that.
Kauris is playing at the same time as listening to this and then waiting for me to fold a king 5 off, and then it's his table. That's actually slightly funny. And with the jacks we are going to call everyone here if they are going to re-raise us.
That's a shame. I was waiting for some action.
Well, we can always have this next hand, and we can always get more action then.
And we can always have kings for the next hand, and then nobody's gonna believe us.
I think we got some hating going on when I shoved like the 5th hand in a row last time. It's going to be an ace most of the time.
True. A bad ace. Because bad players love bad aces.
Actually, that's one of the first things that if someone is beginning to play, to learn out of playing bad aces, because so many players are doing horrible mistakes with bad aces.
They cannot get rid of those. Never. And it's gonna lose a lot of money.
It's interesting still how many of these guys are flatting. It's kinda wunda. Oh, Eurospro doesn't agree with my c-bet in the queen's hand. I think that you are referring that I'm having enough equity than getting a cheap showdown would be worth more than getting the pot more often on the flop. But Chance, you are just thinking about the times that you are losing and not like how often they are losing with the bad aces. Lucky, unlucky, lucky on the $30 hyper.
Yeah, I was watching at the lower table because I was hoping that the pot would go to the worst player, not to the wreck. And it almost worked.
I think delayed c-bet would be a good idea on the queen's hand. I think I can still fetch it here. And we were losing money that we shouldn't be losing. And we are not opening new 9-hand sit and goes if we are losing these, because we don't have breaks in those. Now it's here, when there is not a lot that the opponent can have, and we are having some good cards on the turn as well, so we could as well be delaying our c-bet. I'm thinking I'm going to agree with Eurospro there. So we got it in good and we lost.
Exactly. That's what happened.
I'm now counting that people are pretty much halving every break. So if we are taking this to the final table, it might be at least 4 hours more.
Are you kidding me? Like I do want that you get there, but couldn't you get there faster?
I think that the blinds are just increasing so slowly. Like the average stack is still going to be close to 40 big blinds. Like 5 hours it has been running. I think we had something like 700 or 800 players during the last break.
No wonder they want to do some deals on the final table, because they are all so tired by the time they get there.
They are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
If we just could rewind till the end of the tournament.
But then we wouldn't know how we got there.
Easily. Yeah. It's just like my sickness talking here. Just thinking about staying awake here for a couple of more hours. It sounds exhausting.
I can be doing it to the end.
I know, but I don't want to leave you two alone with that huge loneliness here. And then if you are doing like an awesome job, like you are, I want to see it, and then I want to celebrate with you. And it's not the same when you just wake me up and say, like, honey, I want 10k or something.
If I would win 10k, you would be the first one to hear about it anyway. And it wouldn't be a gentle awakening.
That's true. Because it was quite funny when I was on the other side of that wall and there is a slight delay of the stream. I heard you winning a huge pot before I even saw the flop. And then I just knew that I don't need to worry about it because you're gonna win it anyway. So it was kind of a relief for me.
And this is going to be the bottom of my range, but the table lately has been so passive that I think that I can open pretty wide on this table and still be profitable, especially on the bluff daddy, because I think the bluff daddy has been really passive. And oh well, this other guy is trying to make me hate my life. And on here we are having an icky spot when the Laguna 19 has such a short stack that if like Steam is shoving there, we can't call with much, and that's why we are also exerting the maximum amount of pressure. Like he can't call without having a really good hand, and he got one of those really good hands. But
frustrating. Both of you played okay, like perfectly, and then you won. Then you lose. The story of the night. And then you would want to have some action. Everybody's folding. One day. But we have a 5-minute break in 2 minutes. And we are gonna take that, so that's why we still have only one table left.
Yeah, we are going to carry on with those 9 max hypers after the break. But we are trying to time them so that we can have all of our breaks.
Because we need them.
It has been 6 hours since we started.
Oh dear Lord. And then you are saying it might even take a few more hours.
Yeah.
I think I need to have a revisit on our medication package.
He's going to be so passive. This is going to look like the weakest game of the day. And now it's going to look even more for the weakest game of the day. But if he's so passive...
What would he raise there?
And when he's so passive and we are having ace-10 off, so we are not going to be really well, or we are not going to have a hand that's going to play really well in a four-way pot. We don't want to be raising there without position or 3-betting there without position when he's having such a tight range and position on us. So it's like every option is bad and we just want to have the best of the worst options.
Is Turkish Lord from Turkey? Or is he in disguise?
He's from United Kingdom. And actually, I'm not letting him even bluff there. He's just having one pot left, so I'm going to remove the option. Now he had the nuts there for the limp call range. And you.
Okay, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
See ya.